Hey everyone, it's Tracy Martirani here from Holistic Wellness with Tracy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm inviting you to join me while I do a little planning on how I want to tackle some cleaning projects before the holiday season is here. If you have been around my channel for a while, you know that typically my videos are healthy recipes, herbal remedies, some Ayurvedic tips, yoga, meditation, a little bit of those. But every once in a while, I also like to share just some tips, tricks, or clean with me type videos just to help you and also to help me focus on keeping my home sort of clean and clutter-free and relaxing and enjoyable, right? So that's essentially what we're doing today. We're thinking about how we need to prep our homes before the holidays are here, and they are right around the corner. Before I get the Christmas decorations out, before I start having to bake cookies, and before I have to start cooking special holiday meals, I like to make sure my house is sort of prepped and ready just to relieve that little bit of stress of having to worry about my house being clean before the holidays hit, right? So I am just drinking a warm beverage, sitting in my kitchen with a notebook and a pen, sort of planning out what needs to happen and then thinking about how I'm going to get it done. So most everybody does some sort of spring cleaning, but I also like to do of a spring cleaning light right before the holidays because I don't like pulling out decorations and putting up decorations on dusty shelves. I don't like having an already cluttered house all of a sudden have to have decorations and gifts and all of that extra stuff that's going to come in throughout the holidays. So I always think it's helpful to spend a little bit of time just prepping the home before holidays hit. I start by making a list of the rooms that I really need to focus on. Now, for me, the number one room is this room. It is my kitchen. I spend a lot of time baking cookies, baking our regular everyday meals, but then also making a lot of special things for the holidays. So therefore, I like my kitchen to be nice and clean before I start. I do a semi-deep clean, if you will. I do clear off the counters, trying to get rid of some extra stuff that has just sort of accumulated. I'm going to wipe down my kitchen cupboards because white cupboards, while they're beautiful, they do show a lot of dust and grime and spills and splatters. I'm also going to do a good job, sweeping my floors, mopping the floors, dusting everything, just getting it zhuzhed up. And I will also do a quick clean out of my refrigerator and freezer, just getting rid of anything that's expired or just old and past its prime, or something that we bought and used once and I know I'm never going to use again. I'm going to get that stuff out and then maybe make a quick inventory of what I have in my freezer and refrigerator so that I can try to use some of that up over the next few weeks, making space for all of the holiday food stuff that's going to be coming in. So on my little pad of paper, I'm just making a list of sort of rooms I want to deep clean, and I'm starting with the kitchen. And the next one, which is probably pretty obvious, is our living room. Our living room is where the Christmas tree is going to go. It's where a good bulk of our Christmas decorations go. It's also where we spend a lot of time, whether it's we'll be watching Christmas movies, we'll be hosting friends. So I want to make sure that room is picked up. I will do just a good job dusting things that I don't dust often. Like I have bookshelves that in there that only get dusted a few times a year. So those get dusted under the couch, under the furniture, get everything dusted well, get the floor clean, rug vacuumed, make sure there's no cobwebs peeping in at the tops of the room. So just making sure it's ready for the holidays. So living room is definitely the second. And then while this room next room would be the dining room, which wouldn't really be third on my list. It would probably be fourth or fifth, but it is in our house connected with our living room. They're sort of open to each other. So if I'm going to clean the living room, I might as well do the dining room at the same time. A nice thorough dusting, clean the floors. It'll be good. The next room, which is probably pretty high on my list, and it sounds a little pretentious, but if you've been around my channel, you will see that sometimes I do discuss like self-development books that I've read, and I typically make those videos in my library. Now, I do not live in a big grand house that has a grand library. Once my daughter moved out, we were empty nesters. We had some empty space. We had this room in the back of the house that has been like the den. It's been a family room. It's been a meditation room for my business. It's been used for a lot of different things. But I eventually decided, you know, I read a ton. I love books. I should have a library. I deserve a library. So we created a library. So when I say I have a library in my house, please don't take that as like I have this huge, crazy house. I don't. But the next room I would prioritize is definitely the library, because I spend a ton of time in that room always. So therefore, when holidays roll around, I like to decorate it because that's where I spend a lot of time. So we have a second Christmas tree that goes in our library. I usually put some cutesy things around on the shelves. And again, I don't want to put Christmas decorations on top of dust. So I am going to do a fairly deep clean of my library. And then just to finish out this first floor, we have our foyer, which is where, you know, our coat closet is. So I'm going to go through the coats, pull out like some lighter weight coats, pack those away, bring our winter coats out. Same with shoes. And then make sure I have some extra hangers and space in there for when guests come. So I have space to hang coats. And then also, oddly enough, in my foyer is also where my pantry is. It sounds weird, but it's really not. But I'm going to go through the pantry again. Always before a big holiday season, it is good to go through the pantry and get rid of, again, things that are old, expired, or just not in their prime, or that I'm not going to use, to make space for all of the stuff that will be coming in. So foyer. And then I also have a powder room on this floor, which obviously that is a big one because myself and company will be using that. And I'm going to add in my upstairs bathroom just because I spend a lot of time in there as well. I love taking a bath in the evenings, especially when I'm stressed in the holidays or just when it's cold. So therefore, I want that room to be nice and clean and zhuzhed up. So I'm going to add the bathroom to my list. That's my list of rooms. Yours might look a little different. You might have a playroom filled with toys. You definitely want to clean out like old toys, toys your kids have outgrown that they're not really playing with, broken stuff, whatever. You want to clean that up, make space, because you know when the holidays come, new stuff is coming in. So get rid of some of that old stuff. Maybe you have a rec room that you like to celebrate in, or you spend a lot of time in. You might want to clean up that. Your house looks different than mine. So make your list of the rooms that are a priority. Again, this is probably not the time to worry about your master bedroom unless you have a lot of company coming and you end up giving up your master bedroom to somebody else to sleep in. Then that might be a priority for you. Whatever works for you in your house. I myself do have a guest room that I will be cleaning up a little bit, doing a little zhuzh as it gets closer to Christmas, but I'm not really going to worry about that now because I have time for that. And then just think if there's any other like little things that you need to take care of before we get into the holiday season. For me, it's not holiday related, it's really weather related that we still have a few outdoor things outside. We still have some chairs out in the yard that need to come in. They need to get stored in our patio before the snow flies. So I want to get those done sooner rather than later. So I'm adding outdoor stuff to my list. You might have something else. Maybe you have right now a whole bunch of donation stuff sitting in your garage and you're unable to pull your car in and you want to get that done before holidays hit. So add that to your list. Whatever it is, this is your list. What will make your life better? And then once you have your list complete, look at the calendar because this is the hard part, right? We're all busy. Somehow you have to fit this stuff in to your schedule. Now, it might be hard and it might be a big pain in the butt, but chances are if you can make it happen now and get these things done and get the house sort of picked up and ready to go, you will be so thankful later when you can actually spend more time relaxing and enjoying the holidays and not worrying about the state of your house, or not being frustrated with the state of your house, I should say. So maybe look at your schedule. Maybe if you have, how many weeks do we have left before we start decorating for Christmas? Not many, only a couple. So maybe you want to do one of these things every night. Spend 1 hour working on a room every night. Or maybe you want to take the next 2 Saturdays and just do like 3 rooms on one day, 4 rooms on the other. Done. However you want to break it down, but I encourage you to pull out your schedule and think about it, and think about what will work best for you, and actually schedule it and write it down. That will 100% help make sure that it actually gets done. I know not everybody will be able to get their house perfect. We're not talking home and gardens type prep here. I'm just saying, spend a little bit of time working on especially the areas that are really driving you crazy, so that you don't have to deal with them when all of the holiday hubbub is also happening. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day and a very happy, relaxed, enjoyable holiday season.